Hi guys, I'm Garen.
I'm JD.
And this is Investigating Comic Club, where we chronologically read, review, discuss, and rate specific crucial stories of the medium.
Indeed, and we hope that you guys will subscribe to become members of Comic Club yourself. Share your opinions of the stories in the comments, and stick around till the end of our discussion for our episodic comic quality poll, as well as after our Misfit Picture Show's logo for any bloopers that the episode may potentially provide. Today we're doing something a little bit different in honor of the end of Jonathon Hickman's House of X and Powers of 10. Mm-hmm. We're going to be doing a spoilers, reflections, and predictions as we dive into the dawn of X with X-Men #1, which is going to be released at midnight. We are filming this before we've read X-Men #1.
Yes.
But it will air on our channel after X-Men #1. So forgive us for anything that we get terribly wrong right at the beginning. Any of our predictions, if they go totally south,
Terribly wrong.
yeah, then forgive us. Mr. Garen, in prep for this, we decided yesterday to challenge ourselves to definitely just reread all 12 issues.
Uh-huh.
And any thoughts? Anything worth discussing and having this video? Do you think they provided?
That, for me reading it over again?
Yeah.
Just for starters, I did read all 12 in their actual hardcover form, their comic form, like their actual hard copy, not digital, because as you know, I read all them besides issue 1 of House.
Right.
All digital.
Yeah.
So this is the first time, and we bought them each week. We went and bought, and we gave back and bought from the comic book shop.
Yeah.
But
local comic shop.
And so Collector's Paradise, looking right at you. It was cool to do that, to read that in that form, being like, okay, this is, because I've seen it, I've done panel by panel, but to pick them up, and we've gone back and forth saying how it's like, the color's not as good, there's some things on it. But really, taking that out of it, I know you don't want to be like, well, it's, if you, comparatively, you don't want, and maybe it's also because I have been reading some older comics too, but taking away from that, putting it back there, it still holds up. You still have the art, you still have the, it flows, the story's there, it's still a great story that keeps you thinking on every page, and there's moments that we'll get into that kind of still had the same effect,
Yeah, this was the first time that I had revisited any of the issues, and I have read, I guess, the majority of them at the midnight release digital as well.
Yeah.
So this was my kind of first time all of them in hard copy. And I will say that I don't think it passes muster. One page in particular was the Nimrod alert page.
Yeah.
I gasped audibly when I saw that digitally. And on the page, it's muddy.
Yeah.
And I think that it's, it's kind of, for me, I think it's kind of embarrassing. I think Marvel knows what they're doing. I hope and I suspect the quality will be better in the hardcover. But it's, the artists involved, the creators involved are giving it their all. They deserve this monthly package to be of a better quality.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we talked about that off the top. I think that it kind of needs to be said. But moving forward, we're kind of going to dive into really plot stuff. And like I said, spoilers, revelations of potential connections that we weren't aware of reading the first time, and predictions of where that will lead.
Yeah, it was cool to read this as a collection, because I did read it pretty much in 2 sittings today.
Yeah.
I did kind of just, which was cool because I know you take notes. Yeah. My note taking, especially reading like that, is what pops out at me. But I still have my notes from reading it the first time. So I kind of take those and be like, okay, what overlaps and what doesn't. Right. But be able to read it, it was as though I'm already reading the hard copy, the hardcover. So I'm like, but seeing that how it all connects, because there were some issues where it's like you could be learning about things, especially with my brain, 3 issues ago, and it's like that was 3 weeks ago. That's a month ago. I don't remember what happened, especially in Hickman's world.
The details.
Yeah, the details of all that stuff. So they actually like sit down and like connect the dots, even if it was like more like, oh, that's right, that just happened. Oh, okay, you know, like it was cool to as intense deep hole that Hickman throws you into of just information. It was cool to read like that.
Even though it is a huge info dump, recognizing the effort he put in to make you understand it, and at times reiterate things that he's already told you.
Yeah, no, yeah,
You know,
he
and
does.
reading
He
it
repeats
like
it quite a bit. Yeah,
Yeah, reading it quickly like that,
Yeah.
you realize how much he does that, and
Yeah.
how much he is making an effort to be
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm throwing a lot at you, I get
Yeah.
it, but I'm giving an effort myself
Yeah.
to make you able to read it. I don't want to just be like, what, are you stupid? You can't
Yeah.
get it? You can't keep up?
it's like
Then
doing
maybe you're behind.
calculus over and over again, but you just haven't. But the more you put it in front of the face, you kind of will start getting things
Right.
a little bit more, or you might not even realize you're getting it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's constantly.
Oh boy, there's a lot.
You know?
There's a few things here that piqued my interest of predictions that I have to come. Do you want to go?
I'm the most excited for that. Excited for predictions.
In the first reading, I'm going to take it a little bit
Yeah, you
in
do.
order.
Please do.
The Chinese ambassador says, appearing to be one thing while actually being another. That's in the very first issue.
Oh wow.
And that's,
Yeah.
I still think, to come. We've had that already, but more and more when I reread
Yeah.
this issue, I was like, oh boy, they are setting something up. You know, Hickman is setting something
And
up.
is this the part that, again, I could be just completely lost. Is this first issue right before or right after the last issue, or there's like a second or third, second or last issue? Because this is where he gets them all to show up.
Right. This is essentially them declaring, after Professor X puts on Cerebro,
Yeah.
the new Cerebro for the first time, and says to everyone, hey, we have these gifts. Well, they're not gifts anymore. They would have been.
Yeah,
You guys
that
have
whole,
to give us
which
something.
was in,
While you slept, the world changed.
Yeah.
We are going to be a nation. Then they were invited, these ambassadors.
yeah.
But this is before the vote.
Okay, okay, yeah, okay, gotcha, yep. And see, that's where this whole, even reading it again, for me, the timeline is still shaky. Like, I put it together a little bit better, but it was one of those where I'm like, you know, like, especially, I'm like, okay, where's this and that? Okay, okay, that's cool how that was. But for it to even be that much ahead that he's giving you in the first issue.
For sure. Yeah, and so essentially, I had it completely wrong. I thought that the last thing that we saw chronologically in this series was them cheering on and saying, mutants, yes,
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
rebirthed. That actually happens. They are, except for the flashbacks of them recruiting Sinister, Emma,
Yeah,
Magneto.
yeah.
Like there's when the recruitments happen, that's out of order.
Yeah.
But as far as following things chronologically, this happens. Like Charles Xavier announces, then this happens. Then they actually go up. They recognize that, oh, Mother Mold is being made.
Yeah.
They destroy them. They die. They come back to life. Then the vote happens.
Yeah.
And the celebration is them. Well, then the vote happens. They take Sabretooth back. They establish the 3 laws.
Yep.
Sentence Sabretooth. And everyone else is celebrating their recognition of
Gotcha.
a nation as they've voted these 3 new laws in, and they walk out and the celebration is happening. So the celebration is the last thing we see chronologically. And how those 2 series end.
Yeah, they both
powers,
end. They both end that
they
same.
end there.
That makes sense.
And that is chronologically.
Because I did realize that too with the whole capturing Sabretooth, and then at the end of Power 6, no, House 6 maybe, the whole rules.
Right.
But realizing like in our heads it's 2 months, but in here it's really only like a matter of days maybe.
Yeah.
Like it's not that long
Right.
from when they captured him to
Right.
you know choosing what do we do with him.
Yeah, because Magneto even makes it clear. He says, you had your chance. I was clear, Sabretooth, when I assigned you this mission. How to act and not to act. So he's captured. Cyclops goes and says, no, you can't have him. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, you guys can have him. Say hi to Franklin, your son. Say that because he's a mutant, anytime he wants to come to Krakoa, he's welcome. And he's actually one of the Omega mutants. He's highlighted red.
Yeah, he is.
Right after Cyclops says to his parents, yeah, he's welcome. Yeah, you guys can keep Sabretooth now.
Oh, yeah,
it's
right.
kind of a, like,
yeah.
in your face.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, they sentence him. They go Emma picks him up, and Magneto says right before the sentence, you had your chance, man.
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff is fairly linear. I followed it very well this time. All the previous timelines, I spent a lot of time figuring them out as well. And they line up very, very nicely, especially when you know that her 9th life is the 100 with Apocalypse.
It's 100 with Apocalypse when they found out Nimrod's origin?
Yes.
Or where he first started?
Exactly. And they take off Zorn's face and annihilate kind of the universe. Her 6th life is the one that ends year 1000.
Oh, yeah.
Where she figures out, wow, the AI is an inevitability.
Well, they're always going to lose.
But it's humankind that are, you know.
Yeah.
Actually, so it's so cool because her 7th life is her assassinating all the Trasks and the people that created the Sentinels.
Uh-huh.
So it's so cool to see in her 6th life. And, like, it totally works when you read issue 2. Where all the timelines, it really makes sense why she makes those choices after the 6th life. It's pretty special.
No, yeah, that does, yeah. Even you saying it now, because it was like I connected just enough of things where I'm like, oh, that makes, because even for the first time, even with it still being confusing a little, the powers issues, reading the way I did, and now connected more. You know, it was more like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, here's leading up to, you know, like.
One thing I'm going to say, and this is a bit heavy for Garen, but her current 10th life, it says that there was the Genosian genocide in year 49, and then in year 50, she fakes her death.
Yeah.
And that was a problem to me. I was trying to be like, no, this has to be her 11th life, because the 10th life, those issues, Moira dies of the legacy virus before the Genosian genocide. Those issues come before. And then I found out Hickman in Twitter, a couple weeks after that issue came out, or maybe the week of, he said we messed up.
That's what he meant.
And he's like, sorry guys, I messed up. Actually, how did we did somebody in the comments say that? And that's how because I remember kind of reading it, but not really getting it. And I kind of was like, oh. But then reading it again, I was like, wait, is that like, and I looked up and I read.
Because that would make sense though. But yeah, that would make sense.
Okay, so this is her current 10th life.
Yeah.
And everything does.
So it just in that, but that makes sense. Like she fakes her death. Yeah.
Right before the Genosian genocide. And I'm curious in the hardcover collection if that will be corrected.
Ooh.
So that lines kind of the problems. I was like, well, Hickman doesn't, he's too methodical. You know what I mean? Like, if that's twisted, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
But, it was just a mistake.
It was just a mistake.
Okay.
Just kidding. But yeah, it just shows how much of he has control over the reader's trust. For us to be able to go, we don't, most
right,
even for people like commenting in the comments, we don't question. We question ourselves whether or not it's correct, but we don't question him.
That can't work because of this and that.
He wouldn't do that.
Right.
He wouldn't. Then for him to go, just messed up, guys. No. Hickman will never mess up. This just in. He said he messed up. Well, anyways.
Cracked our very foundation. I'm not too sure how many of these videos we're going to do, but we're going to kind of try and keep them to about 13 minutes or something in the editing. So we're going to air them as quickly as I can edit them. So this one we're going to kind of bring to an end right now, but we have some really fun predictions that are coming up. So tune in and it should be up later today.
To be continued.